Welcome to Bartow Ford. My name is Carlos Sandoval. I'm the Parts and Service Director here, and this is our fixed operations. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video, and I want to discuss a couple of things with you about the dealership. Some very important topics today. I want to discuss fixed operations. I want to discuss how fixed operations affect the service absorption rate, and also walk you around the store so you guys can actually see how all this unfolds and comes together. So let's start today by discussing fixed operations. Well, what is fixed operations? Fixed operations is parts and service. Most dealerships don't have a body shop, but at Bartow Ford we do have a body shop, and a body shop is very important because they are also a big contributor to the fixed operations, and I'll show you guys why later. But let's get some of the preliminary stuff out of the way. I want to discuss our service absorption rate, and I want to discuss the calculation behind the service absorption rate. That way you guys can understand the importance of each department. So let's start out by going over the service absorption. Your first step is to calculate your combined total gross for the parts, service, and body shop. The second step is to take the total amount of operating expense for the parts, service, and body shop. And you also want to include the fixed expenses and the dealer's salary. Add them up to give you a grand total of expenses. In the third and final step, all we have to do is take step number 1, which gives you your total gross, and divide it by step number 2, which gives you the total expenses. Dividing these two will give you your service absorption rate. Every dealership strives to exceed 100% service absorption rate. According to the National Automotive Dealers Association, the benchmark for service absorption rate is 75%. So what I want to do next is I want to walk you around the service department, the body shop, and the parts department so you can see how all of this ties together. So come with me and let's take a walk. Alright, well this is where it all starts right here for the service customer. This is what's called our service lane, and this is where the customer comes into the dealership and starts the whole process of getting their vehicle repaired. The service department is one of your most important departments because this is one of the driving factors behind your parts department and your body shop. The sales department sells the vehicles, but we have to keep the customers over here on the service side. After the service advisor has completed a thorough walk around the vehicle, the real work starts here with the service technician. They complete what's called a vehicle health report on every single vehicle, and this is where we try to identify any issues that are going on with the vehicle. Once the service technician has identified issues with the vehicle, what he does is he sends the order over to the parts department. And what we do in the parts department is we identify the parts needed to do the repair. Whether we have them here or we have to overnight them, we want to get them here as quick as possible. And the parts department is one of the most important and vital departments in the dealership. 3 measurements that a service department should track: productivity, efficiency, and proficiency. Productivity. This rates how well the service advisor loads each day with work that keeps techs busy. This is an example. 4 technicians are available to work 40 hours that week, for a total of 160 available hours. If the 4 techs are clocked in for a total of 120 actual hours that week, the shop's productivity works out like this: 120 actual hours divided by 160 available hours equals 75% productivity. The goal should be 100% productivity by loading its daily schedule to keep the techs busy 100% of the time. Now let's cover efficiency. This rates how good the technician is at completing the work quickly. This is an example. If a technician clocked 30 actual hours for the week, and that work represented 25 billed hours charged to the customer, the efficiency rating for that technician would work out as follows. 25 billed hours divided by 30 actual hours would equal 83% efficiency. The goal here should be 100% efficiency. Proficiency. This is a rating of the service department's gross labor profitability. It takes into account both productivity and efficiency. This is an example. If a shop charged 100 billed hours during a week and had 160 available hours to schedule, its proficiency would work out as follows. 100 billed hours divided by 160 available hours would equal 63% proficiency. The goal for a service department is to be 85% or better. And this is what happens when you don't have enough work in your shop. At Bartow Ford, we have a very sophisticated parts department. We have a 2-story carousel that houses all of our parts. Bartow Ford carries about $800,000 worth of parts inventory. And the reason that's important is because we want to be able to have our customers come in, have their vehicle repaired, and leave in a timely manner. So that's why it's important to carry the right parts. Just like any other business, the parts department's goal is to have a high turnover of its inventory. The faster we're turning our parts, the more money that they're generating. Well, you may ask yourself, well, how many customers does the parts department have? The parts department services the service department, it services the body shop, but we also have a division that's called the wholesale division. And the wholesale, it services all independent shops, any other dealerships around us who may need a part from us, and they also service customers who walk in and just want to fix it themselves. Now let's cover our third and final department, the body shop. Let's take a walk through it so that you guys can see what's done. As you can see, when a vehicle gets into an accident, there's going to be a need for parts. As you can see, this particular vehicle right here, it's going to need quite a bit of parts. So now you know why it's important to have a body shop. Your body shop is probably one of your most important customers for the parts department. And I wouldn't be doing my job as parts and service director if I wasn't always looking for new opportunities and new ventures. Recently here, we've started a small business where we now install equipment for police vehicles. As you can all see, it's a very, very tedious job, but it's another source of income, and there's unlimited things that we can do as a dealership to continue to grow and contribute to that bottom line. All these departments have to work together. Everyone has to do their job and everyone has to do their part. If the service advisor doesn't properly write up the vehicle, the technician doesn't know what to repair. If the technician doesn't properly inspect the vehicle, then the service advisor doesn't know what to tell the customer. If the parts department doesn't have the parts the service department needs to repair that vehicle, then the technician cannot fix that vehicle in a timely manner. If the body shop doesn't help the parts department, then the parts department doesn't sell as many parts. So as you can tell, everything ties in together. If all these departments work together and they generate enough gross profit, then that means that our service absorption rate is going to be high. And the higher our service absorption rate is, the better off the dealership as a whole. So as you can tell, it's very important that all departments work together. And if we can all work together, then that increases our service absorption rate. And if our service absorption rate is high, then the sales department has a lot easier and better chance of selling vehicles. The whole goal here is that the fixed operations sustains the store. It's the backbone of a dealership. And that's why it's one of the most important components of a dealership. A lot of people don't realize that a dealership has probably 6 different businesses within it. The service department, the body shop, the parts department, the new car department, the used car department, and the finance department. If we can all work together as a dealership, that's what keeps us here. And thank you for spending this time with me. Have a great evening.